I saw love's touch. Love's touch on my left palm, on my forehead, on my eyelids, on the back of my neck, on my thighs, on the tips of my fingers, on my wings, on my right big toe. No. All that you see of me is just a shell, and the rest belongs to love, 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 love. Love came and moved like blood in my body. It rushed through my veins and surrounded my heart. Everywhere I looked, I saw love's touch. Love's touch on my left arm, on my forehead, on my eyelids, on the back of my neck, on my thighs, on the tips of my fingers, on my wings, on my right big toe. Love's touch. Now, all that you see of me is just a shell, and the rest belongs to love. When you dance, the whole universe dances. All the realms spun around you in endless celebration. Your soul loses its grip. Your body sheds its fatigue. Hearing my hands clap and my drum beat, you begin to whirl. dance the whole universe dances. All the realms spun around you in endless celebration. Your soul loses its grip. Your body sheds its fatigue. Hearing my hands clap and my drum beat, you begin to whirl. Walk the middle path, that's right. Walk the middle path. Embrace the whole of you, not just a part of you. Embrace the dark in your life, the pleasure in your life, the chaos in your peace, the shift in your routine. This is a master class, and there is a price of admission. Leave your old self behind. Rid your soul of shackles of convention. Dust your mind of methods of control. Soul evolutionist. Soul evolutionist. The beloved is you. You are the deity that you worship. You are the God that you seek. Come out of yourself. We are eternal beings, currently in three-dimensional, earth-based bodies. From the moment you are born, an escape hatch is placed in front of you. Escape with your mind and the desire to be free and learn more. You are starlight, particles of matter mixed with energy. You are born of light and will return to light. Manifest like a flame. No place in time, power on the inside. Enjoy this bounty. Eat your heart out. Now listen. To heal your wound, I get you to dance. No place in time, power on the inside. No place in time, power on the inside. No Embrace the dark in your light, the pleasure in your life, the chaos in your peace, the shift in your routine. You ought to set a higher routine. Sing a higher note, sing a higher note, sing a higher note. This is a master class, and there's a price of admission. Leave your old self behind. Rid your soul of shackles of convention. Dust your mind of methods of control. Soul evolution is the beloved, is you. Soul evolution is the beloved, is you. The beloved is you. You're the deity that you worship. We are the God that you see. Come out of yourself. Come out of yourself. We are eternal beings, currently in three-dimensional earth-based bodies. From the moment you are born, an escape hatch is placed in front of you. Escape with your mind and the desire to be free and learn more. You are starlight, particles of matter mixed with energy. You are born of light and will return to light. Manifest like a flame. No place in time. Power on the inside. No place in time. Power on the inside. Enjoy this bounty. Eat your heart out. Now listen to heal your wounds. I get you to dance. Soul evolution is the beloved, is you. Soul evolution is the beloved, is you. You got it all figured out. You bend your body real well. You repeat my name so loud. You cut your meat, take away the odds where you eat. You read about the stars and the wheels that turn eternal. You think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. Ooh, oh, oh. You are all that you'll ever want. You are all that you'll ever need. You are all that you'll ever see. You believe stories of God, who were kind and trust sparks of red, white, black, and blue. And yes, you turn the other cheek and you think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, you swing from dogma to dogma. You switch from control to control. Oh, friend, this is a vicious circle to buy your soul. This is a vicious circle to buy your soul. You think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. Ooh, oh, oh. You repeat my name so loud. You call your me. Take away the eyes on what you read. You read about the stars and the wheels that turn eternal. You think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. You are all that you'll ever want. You are all that you'll ever need. You are all that you'll ever see. You believe stories of gods who are kind and trust folks of red, white, black, and blue. And yes, you turn the other cheek, and you think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. You swing from dogma to dogma. You switch from control to control. Oh, friend, this is a vicious circle to buy your soul. This is a vicious circle to buy your soul. You think you got it all figured out. You think you got it all figured out. You are all that you'll ever want. You are all that you'll ever need. You are all that you'll ever see. Tonight, I see the realm of joy and pleasure. I've lost myself in it, and it has lost itself in me. No religion, no dogma, no conformity, no guilt, no shame, no fear, no conviction, no uncertainty remain. In the middle of my heart, a star appears, and the seven heavens are lost in its brilliance. Tonight, realm of joy and pleasure, I've lost myself in it, and it has lost itself in me. No religion, dogma, no conformity, no guilt, no shame, no fear, no conviction, no uncertainty remain. In the middle of my heart, a star appears.
Not a prediction. I mean, I think, yeah, I know. Well, my story works really well. It gives me a nice story. It's all a story, but it works.
Okay. Yeah. So does it matter if if your story and my story tell the same account of reality?
Of reality. No. Listen, everything matters or it doesn't matter depending upon the context of the given moment. You know, it's almost like you're asking for some grand sweeping declaration of something. And I mean, sometimes those are appropriate, but those are rare for me. Donald Trump is a case where I'll make exceptions. You know?
I want to talk about Trump if you don't mind.
No. Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying is that there are, but that's the only. Well, listen, go on. I don't know where we are here. I'm lost.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just thinking about the predictions and they see and your accounts, your how you are building the stories about what's going on. Um, and you have some very unusual stories, and so I guess it brings up the question: does it matter to you, and not just to you as an individual, but does it matter to us as humanity if our stories roughly match?
I think it's inevitable that they will, and if they don't, then we won't be here. But that's my story. Again, I don't believe that. That's just the way I see it. That's what I would. But again, I'm expecting.
It's becoming a little bit frustrating or something to hear you say that. Like you'll say something that's a very strong statement, and it's actually consistent. Like you've said the same things over and over, and then you'll say, "But that's my story, and I don't even believe it."
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And that's
You're
frustrating.
right, I do that. Oh, I see. Thank you for. You're right. I do that. I probably don't need to do that now. I used to have. I've been doing that for a long time. Okay.
How come you did that? I don't like that.
Well, I got it. Hey, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. I'm trying to explain to you what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been talking to people for 20 years about shit like this.
Yeah.
It was way off the charts a long time ago. And I had developed patterns when I do public speaking or when I talk to people when I'm engaged in these kinds of activities to try to soften the blow.
Oh yeah, it's not working for you anymore.
No, I got it. I got it.
Okay. Thank you.
I got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, really, that's good for me to know.
You're welcome. And one of the reasons that it's maddening is that it also enables the permission structure to say, "Oh, you can say things, but none of it really matters."
Well, no, but that doesn't mean it doesn't matter, though. That doesn't mean it doesn't matter.
Well, for you to say, "I say this, but I don't really believe it."
Oh no, I know.
That's
I know. I just need to say that at the beginning.
It creates a permission structure for others to do the same.
Well, but everybody has the right to do exactly the same. That's exactly the point. Because everyone is in precisely the same position, but they're pretending they're not. They're pretending they're telling you the truth, the way it really is, not just their story.
I'm not pretending. I really am telling you the truth.
Ah, good. Thank you, Rodrigo. Now, the real Rodrigo is showing up tonight.
So, yes.
Yeah, I wanted to respond actually to you talking about the dangers of this. And again, you're absolutely right. Most human beings are not ready for this. The kind of world I see coming is really going to require a different kind of human being, one who is no longer entranced by the voice in their head.
Okay.
And I'm expecting that to happen. And if that doesn't happen, I expect the collapse of civilization or something close to that.
Okay. Well, that's some of the predictions, and that's like an example of one of the strong statements that you make.
Yeah.
That I want to examine just the very like in that.
Yeah. Cool.
Philosophical way. So, what is it to have a story that one doesn't believe?
I don't know. I mean, well, the thing is, I don't believe, I make assumptions. And I don't see the need for believing anything. I mean, I don't get it. I make a lot of assumptions about, also, I go out, when I stick my key in the ignition, I expect the car to start. It usually does. It's a good expectation that I have.
Is one of your assumptions that you make that the story is true?
No, not that it's true. No, again, because I don't use the verb to be when I'm trying to be accurate. I'd say whether it's useful or not. Whether this map, using this map leads to results that I intend. Ah, that was good.
I say this, but I don't really believe it. Yeah. So the utility or the pragmatic application of the story.
I can't imagine what other. Well, then there's poetry to it. I mean, there are other ways we use language. No, but for what I'm interested in my work, no, I'm interested in problem solving and analysis, and that's what this is all about.
So, does truth have a place in the story?
No, not that word. How do you judge a map? The usefulness of a map? Say a topo map, okay, with 20-foot elevations. You could have a topo map with 5-foot elevations, but that would be more expensive. Anyway, there are lots of maps.
So, aside from the map, and I get that the map is the representation of reality and not reality.
Not reality. No. It's a representation of
a relationship.
Well, no, not reality. Again, it depends on what you mean by reality. I suspect you're still talking about some objective out there reality. When I use the word reality, I mean whatever it is I'm experiencing, my immediate sensory experience. That's where these maps are tested.
So how do you judge if it's useful?
Experience. You make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, this is where age comes. This is why I don't take anybody under 50 seriously. Because you haven't made enough mistakes to see what an idiot you are yet.
So is it useful to judge it yourself? Is it only the single person judging?
Well, it's the one that counts.
Utility?
But I usually try to get as much data as I can, but you never get enough. I mean, there's no way. Ultimately, you never have enough information. You always have to make a decision. It's some sort of leap of faith. I mean, not always, but you never know. I guess, see, that's one of the things that's really changed in my life in my mid-60s was when I actually began to get comfortable with not knowing everything. It used to piss me off. I wanted to understand everything, and I didn't, and it pissed me off. Now, I finally accepted, well, I don't know.
Do you know some things? Are there some things that you know?
Oh, well, I've got a lot of experience. I've got a lot of theories. I got a lot of stories. I'm here still. I'm happy. So apparently it's working.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're happy. That's all good. Like I appreciate that. And I think still the question under examination is the how you are evaluating those judgments. Like how do you evaluate?
Are we talking about?
If you're, what's that?
Which judgments are we talking about here?
Like if you evaluate something as for its utility, for its use, if you evaluate a concept or a map for its use, how are you evaluating it? On what basis?
Well, it depends on what domain we might be operating in. I think music and art and sports.
Okay.
There's a million things that are in play here.
So, are there standards? That's what I'm getting at. Like, is there a standard against which you would judge it to be good or bad?
Judge what?
Or successful,
Good.
not successful?
What? Judge what?
Judge the.
Because I'm capable of making judgments in some domains and totally incompetent in many others. So, but if you're talking about art, I mean, that's another thing, but that's quite different than making. Well, there's so many judgments.
That's something that there is a truth about, like that there, that you would say this is useful. Like, you know, I'm putting in a shelf and I need to get the right length, and so I measure it, and then go get the piece of wood, and it fits.
Yeah,
so
this is all,
that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this is, well, it's simple in that domain. I mean, we got that one down pretty good. Engineering and all that shit, we've had. Yeah, that's one of the things.
Or like even let's take a map, like a subway map.
Yeah.
I go to
This
New
guy
York
is the
and I want to
crankiest,
get
most
from
argumentative, angry
Astoria
person,
to the
and
village.
nobody can understand
so
what he's
I
trying
look
to
at the map,
express.
and it works.
But he's got a doomsday attitude about everything.
Yeah.
He keeps thinking the world is going to fall apart because guess what? You are falling apart, but the world is not falling apart. The world is only transforming, just like us.
So let's talk about the successful.
I give you Heronstone versus Free Your Time with the philosopher Rodrigo.
Beginning as humans to starting to ask the right questions like that. I don't think, I mean, even the science of linguistics is almost barely a century old. We're just beginning to take a look at what's going on here and what's possible. It took 200 years between Volta creating the first battery. And
let's say we're not just beginning to learn that the subway map works. Let's say it works. It works, and it's worked for the past 50 years.
Yeah.
That it's been up there. So why is that hard? Like, why
is that what?
Why is that hard to just have?
I don't see what. Did I say? I don't know why you're asking me that question. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. It'd be stupid not to do something like that.
So, what is the standard that you would use to judge?
Back to the standards.
Whether it works, whether people get confused by it, or complaining about it and pissed off, or whether everything flows smoothly and it works.
So that's how we know that it's working.
Well, yeah. How else would you know?
So there is a way to know.
Well, certain kinds of situations, yes.
So
and again, remember,
usefulness is measured by truth, that it matches, that it works.
Well, you insist on using those words. I can account for all this stuff and not need the word truth. It's just irrelevant.
Okay.
Again, it's like topo map and street map. If you got a topo map and someone's talking about 4th Street, it's not on that map. Okay, it's a topo map.
So I think that when I spoke about how I see dangers involved in relativism.
Yes, absolutely.
There's dangers for everything. And in the reluctance to speak of right and wrong, truth or false, or correspondence to truth, correspondence to reality.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that I find it concerning or dangerous is when the the discussion just ends on topics that are consequential, that people simply, back away from truth and refuse to engage and say, well, it's right for me, it's right for you. We have different rights, we have different customs, we have different traditions, we come from different places, different belief systems. And so there's no matching these things. It's all very much just my story, your story. And there's no point in matching until there is. Like, there is some arenas where it is consequential, but because we have persistently insisted that there's no right or wrong or good or bad, we can there is no way to proceed. There is no way to then judge anything.
Oh, I agree.
That's the danger.
Yeah, I agree. It's over for Homo sapiens.
What?
We need a new people. 90%
Do you
of
think
people
it's worth reinstituting a way of judging? Do you think that that's a worthy project?
I don't think. No, there's no need to judge anybody. It will work itself out. There's no judgment needed. Things are changing. Some people are going to survive, and some people are not. And in the long run, it may take a century for the whole thing to get worked out. But Homo sapiens is about to disappear, and Lucid and Terrae is about to appear, or is appearing already. And nobody knows how this is going to play out. This is just a story I made up, but it's the best one I found. So I'm sticking with it unless you can give me a better one. If I can find a better story, I'll go with that.
Well, I don't have.
I have a better story.
Right, yeah.
But you're not going to like it, so I'll leave it there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Rodrigo, you're just the kind of person who I'm just going to let you know. I know the most offensive joke in the world. I don't think there is a more offensive joke. And I just wrote it out the other day. I've only told it twice in my life. And I'm not sure I'm going to distribute it. But I'm thinking if there's anyone around who can handle it, I'm sure it's you. If you're interested,
Do it.
well, I want you to message me.
Oh, no, come on. Just tell it here and now.
No, I'm not.
Tell a joke. Come on, it's a joke.
You can handle it.
We're
I
only-
can handle it.
No, but I
I
can't.
can handle it.
But
I can't.
Ron, we're all over 50.
No, it's not going to happen. It takes too much
You
to
thought
tell
that
it.
you
Listen,
could handle it.
Listen, let me tell you something. To tell it properly, you have to be an actor. You have to be in the mood and be in the energy of an actor to tell a joke properly. And I can do that, but I'm not in that place now, and I don't want to be in that place right now.
Then just send it to me, and I'll deliver it right now.
No, we're not going to do it. Rodrigo, get the fuck off the stage. Shut up.
What a tease.
No, I offered to send it to you.
All right, please do.
Okay.
And then deliver it.
No, I'm not going to send it until after we're done here.
That's so fair. You're a tease. You're
No, I know it. I apologize, but what can I say? I just went, like I say, I've only told the joke.
Now you're ruining it. It's sure not going to get a laugh because you completely backpedaled. Tell us at least.
All right,
Like,
I'll tell you a joke since we're joke deprived. You ready?
Yeah.
So an old bachelor is on his way home. I told you this one, right? An old bachelor is on his way home and he sees a frog on the side of the road and it starts talking to him. Anything else interesting? Picks up the frog and the frog says, "Oh, thank God you've picked me up. You know, I'm actually a princess and I'm very wealthy. I'm stuck here being a frog, but thank goodness you found me and you're kind of cute. You're kind of cute. I think we could really make a go of it. You know, wouldn't you like to be married to a wealthy prince? I think we'd be a great couple. All you have to do is kiss me, and I'll become a beautiful young woman. And what do you say?" And he says, "You know, it's very enticing, but I don't know. I think at this point I prefer a talking frog." put certain things.
Smart man. Of course, she could fuck him over and just shut up.
So you're single too, Aaron? You're a single guy?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not only single, I'm a hermit.
So never any interest in the coupling life?
I'm 80. I've been there, done that. I was a hippie. It was sex, drugs, rock and roll, and epistemology for like 30 years. I've been there. Yeah. I don't have anything against it. If it ever shows up again, you never know what's going to happen. But I don't have any interest or energy pointed in that direction.
When I was 25, I had a friend who was in his 70s, and it was a long distance. I was living in Boston downtown, and he was in a very tiny village somewhere in South Carolina. But he was very cultured. He had lived in Manhattan for many years. And at some point I asked him, hey, are you happy out there? Wouldn't you want to live in New York or Boston or something like that? And he said, I've done that. You'll understand.
I think it's different for everybody. I can see, some people stay in the city, and it's right for them. They just blossom there, and other people go, Georgia O'Keeffe, the painter, God, she's such I love her. She was awesome.
I also know her museum in Santa Fe.
Yeah. And her famous love life, too. Yeah, she was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, was she also single?
Well, she was a hermit. She lived out in the desert by herself.
Yeah.
But she had an assistant. She had several assistants.
Gentiles, and they can be everybody.
Praise the Lord, Hebrew brothers. After dark, prayers are intercessor.
Oh my goodness.
And holy convocation, you shall do no work therein. It is a Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the...
We just don't talk about what actually, there was a lot of work. I mean,
I know, but in terms of me, that's all I think about.
Days off.
For the holidays, for me, that's all I think about is work, because that's all I do.
That is true. I mean, in service industry, anything, you're going to have work on holidays. It's always a thing. But that's what I mean. Like, I don't get a chance to enjoy. You know what I mean? It's the right person.
Oh, hey, everybody. What are the best life hacks you can share with me right now?
Please.
Nope, and nope.
I've got some great life hacks for you. Don't forget to buy the baby wipes. Also get a tongue scraper, and don't forget to get a water pick and floss every night.
Rid of the dummy. Oh, you want me to do it?
Yes.
No, he can stay.
Okay, fine.
But there was a black-owned bus company that called the leaders and said, hey, we can bring some bus.
It was black-owned?
Yes, it was.
What made it black?
A lot longer than they did in the first place, but those things were rejected by some of the leaders.
It's because it's a scam. In Evanston, Illinois, where they're taxing all the cannabis, 500 people have gotten $30,000. 500 American citizens have gotten $30,000 each because they are the descendants of slaves. Now, I ask you, why are they entitled to my tax money for my cannabis?
That would be the enslaved.
I'm just saying it's ridiculous that 300 people who we live with can get $30,000 of my tax dollars.
Well, if Argentina can get as many billions as they just did, you might want to worry about that.
Sounds like white Illinoisans have a class action lawsuit against their government They feel like they're being improperly taxed for the money that essentially is going to the descendants of the enslaved in Evanston. Either way it goes, it was just a test market anyway, and they didn't even pay out the whole of the small city. But if you feel like you've been wronged, it's not just your right, but kind of your obligation to take it to court.
Fuck that shit. I want justice now. This is anti-constitutional and I want a goddamn green bean, you fascist, terrorist, domestic, liberal, Democrat, fascist, communist, socialist.
What I will do though is hold on a second. Let's make a new rule for tonight. If you have a penis, no green bean for you. Just for the rest of the night, okay? Because I think that'll lead to a better room. So my question, Nubia, is this: like, it's twofold. One, what type of tax system would you choose? Like flat tax across the board, or like a scaling tax based on revenue? And if so, where would you cap it? And my second question, and not just to you, Nubia, to anyone, my second question is: do you think it would be good for taxpayers to be able to choose what government initiatives they want their tax dollars to go towards?
So, I like what FDR did with the wealth tax. I definitely think a percentage across the board, no matter, the wealth disparity. I kind of like things the way they are from an economic apparatus, from the perspective of our economic apparatus. But I do think for, maybe funding wars or like FDR did, I do think, it almost got murdered, but I do think there should be maybe a separate tax for the wealthy, especially in times of when this nation, needs to fund some bullshit. And our existing system, we participate in the choices that are made. That's kind of what our presidential elections do. I feel like if you don't want to vote for, specific nationwide wars against other nations, then you vote for somebody who doesn't support that kind of thing. I feel like we do that already. I'm not someone who particularly sees many things that I want to change. I just want them to operate properly, and I want us to more widely participate in them.
Let everybody else respond before I blow up.
Yeah, I do agree with what was just said too. Because we have referendums, we vote on those things, but I also believe that there's taxation without representation. For example, I don't have children. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck are my taxes going for schools?
Big
We
surprise!
could all use the same analogy in terms of why are my taxes going here or there when it does zero for me. But it's just a part of the structure of our society. So that's what we do. We don't have equal protections like the LGBTQ community, but you want them to pay taxes. So, my thing is, equity, if nothing else. If you don't want to fucking give me rights like everybody else, or if you don't, if I don't have what this person has or I can't, then don't tax me. Just don't collect my taxes, and it's cool. And even if that came in the form of reparations, that works too.
I'm going to try to be really succinct. So before 1971, let's take World War II, right? Right before America joined World War II, there was a sold-out Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden. America literally turned away boatloads of Jewish refugees, boatloads, and sent them back. Some of them had to go back to Germany and ended up dying in concentration camps. And why? Because it cost money. During the World War II, England sent all of their gold secretly to Canada to hide it under a bank in Montreal. The Germans took London and got that gold. They would not be able to fund their resistance. It cost money to go to war. So America was really hesitant to go to war.
Jeremy, they could have just issued greenbacks like Abraham Lincoln and fought the war with government dollars as opposed to bank dollars.
And that's butterfly where I was trying to get to, right? Is that after that, when they moved off the gold standard, also France sent a warship and said, bitch, give us our gold back now. because you're moving off the gold standard. And so now when your dollar isn't supported by real something of value, but instead of how big your guns are and a secret deal with Saudi Arabia to force everyone to buy oil in USD, all of a sudden you're going into all sorts of wars because that justifies printing money to build a massive military. America spends 10 times, like the next 10 nations in line on military spending does not add up to how much America spends themselves on their military, but pretty much the same outcomes of those other countries. And land of this, right, is that when you have half of your country saying that the other half is the biggest threat to your democracy, right? When you have the rich saying, I don't give a fuck about the poor, and the poor saying, like, and guess what? What's the one thing that your most divisive politics in the world that they get together and vote together on every single year, multiple times a year? I'll give you a hint. It just happened. It's passing an unbalanced budget, printing money that isn't there. So Madison, the real question is, why the fuck should I pay taxes when you guys can print an unbalanced budget to however the fuck you want?
You know, Madison, I want to apologize for his profanity and vulgarity, but Madison, don't take this guy too seriously. He's delusional. He thinks Satoshi works for him in his Bitcoin company. Okay, Madison? Ribono shalala. Ribono shalala. Ribono shalala.
Slade and Butterfly, you got that horribly wrong. And also, Bitcoin hog kilograms, man. So do stinky-legged white guys like me, because clearly this is not a big room. But also nuanced, intelligent conversations end up like kill room. So I love this conversation tonight, regardless of the side. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, you've been having the same conversation for years, Jeremy. Get over it. Ribono shalala.
I just say don't be a regular Joe and just don't buy into the system as it exists. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, if they can print money whenever they sneeze, the tax bills are just crazy. I mean, and even what's so wild is that it took this current administration to actually expose some of what we already knew. I was shocked at how much of America didn't realize that there were tax loopholes. I was absolutely shocked. I was just like, y'all don't know this? Like, for real, for real? I've learned some of these things since I was 16 years old. But then there were people who actually thought that the penal system was fair. So I digress.
Double click on that, right, Madison? And I'll get messy a bit, because I mean, there's two. I can start with either one. I'm going to flip a coin. So the prison system, modern day slavery, right? The laws that shaped and decided what drugs were bad and which ones could be consumed by super duper white housewives who, you know, like, how do I pass the day? Opium or heroin or Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? But like, the second black people could buy it or access it, it's like, what? Wait, you're telling me it's in cans now? It's in non-white only stores instead of just the fountain shop and the farm. Oh shit, that's illegal. Marijuana, like, I could go on and on.
Well, I mean, it's the disparity in sentencing laws with crack cocaine. I mean, I lived through it. I remember watching the C-SPAN hearings. You should, I don't know if you've seen 13th by Ava DuVernay on Netflix. Also, another one of her pieces is called Origin. You might find them very interesting.
Two more tabs. What's up? To update you, Kappa, we've got a no penis green bean rule going on tonight, so we'll just try and keep that enforced.
Hey, Jeremy, I'm just wondering, do you ever pray or meditate to a higher source, higher power, intelligence, or do you just sit here and talk about the Federal Reserve, dollars and gold? I mean, are you afraid, Jeremy? And are you trying to instill fear in other people? Look at your PTR, a shadow man, a shadowy figure, possibly dark and evil. I mean, do you have good intentions, Jeremy? Shmuley Steinberg's here.
Pray to a higher power.
Shmuley, Ribono Shalom. Long time, Shmuley. I love the payas.
Figure in my PTR is because I believe that privacy isn't.
Shalom Aleichem Ribono Shalom.
Shouldn't be forced.
I have
nothing but good intentions. conversations and diving into nuances. And
I'm talking to Jeremy, an anti-Semite in Canada. I'm trying to convert him to the Zionist cause.
And say things.
And I'm all out of likes on Bumble.
Entertain me, but also, even if it entertains me, I genuinely believe it. So if I say, hey, Butterfly, if you're a white guy, you might have smelly legs because you probably don't have a washcloth, and if you do, you don't know how to use it proper.
Well, you get a bucket with a stick and a rag and a bar of soap, Jeremy.
Wait, while that might be funny for some people, for me as well, it's also, I think, true, just anecdotally, because I'm a white guy. And anyways, hold on, before we get messy, Butterfly, do you agree that laughingly calling a white person a cracker has nothing to do with a white person using the N-word? And I'm sorry if this is too messy, guys. It's late. It's demon hour. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the F you're talking about, but maybe if you were an adult and you had some intelligent conversation as opposed to being a child, you know, you're very immature, and I'm sure I'm not the first person who's ever told you that.
Tell Jeremy I said fuck
all criticism, by the way. I'll let
tell Jeremy Zionism.
And if Cora was here, she would tell me about the Dunning-Keurig, and I know Keurig is a coffee machine, but the anti-Dunning-Keurig effect. God damn it. Ma'am Dammy? Did I at least say Ma'am Dammy right, Christina? Ma'am Dammy?
Stupid Canadian Jeremy.
Donnie.
You're irrelevant.
Donnie.
Stop worrying about the
I hate myself so much right now.
Kill yourself.
Kruger, thank you. Thank you.
You're
Keurig. You know what?
Tatina! Welcome to the roast of Jeremy! He doesn't even know he's getting roasted.
White guy should have been way
Jeremy,
I am so sorry.
Jeremy, you mourn when you wipe your ass.
So you're Canadian, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm the worst kind. Well, I'm not the worst kind. There's so many more worst kind of Canadians than me.
I'm from Detroit, so I spent time in Canada growing up. We had
Nice.
Leamington and Stratford and Windsor,
You're one of those rare Americans that actually know what cold really is. Like, really is. Yes. So let me ask a messy question, right? Someone put this thought experiment to me, and I don't know how much you know about Indigenous people in Canada, but a lot of them still live second quality life. And the reason why is different, a little bit different than I think the disparity of minorities in America versus Indigenous people in Canada. But like, Christina, please correct me if I'm wrong, because you know this probably better than I do. But basically, horrific shit happened, massive disparity because of white man. And then there was almost a flip where there was this idea of like, because of white guilt and everything that happened, it was just like, well, you guys just govern yourself. But because of the horrific things, literally a generation of kids who were ripped away from their parents and didn't experience good parenting and all the repercussions of that and all the repercussions of the racism of the Indigenous people, just saying, hey, here it is, you guys just take care of it, here's money, led to a lot of horrible shit and also a disparity of quality of life on the reserves, in some reserves versus others. And so someone asked to explain how to make a book.
It's a very messy question, Jeremy. I can't follow along on this incredible sandwich, but can you get to the mustard?
So going back to the reparations question, right? Someone asked me, hey, if you gave every Indigenous Canadian $1 million, but they had to give up their Indigenous rights and just become
No, this is a live room, T.A. Tina. I'm in former Talking Apes League with Christina. You've been blocked, T.A. Tina, because you've been considered an undesirable by the censors.
And the answers that I've heard to that question are insane. From like white people saying, "Well, they don't know how to use $1 million."
It's a guess, T.A. Tina.
You know, like from a place of privilege.
It's a theory.
To Indigenous people saying, "No, $1 million to give up my Indigenous rights."
Otherwise, why wouldn't you be in the Talking Apes League right now?
The Canadian government.
Instead, you're in my music room.
And I guess reparations.
I'm sorry, Jeremy, but is there a question attached to this rambling?
Why am I in here? Because I don't like
the question
Dina.
is, and I think Nubia, you maybe answered this earlier, is that if reparations were paid out, I think the idea would be like, okay, no more like, oh, racism, no more, oh. No, that's it. You got your paycheck, that's it.
You sound like you have no love in your life. When was the last time you actually took a woman out on a date?
Who, me?
Not you, Jeremy.
There's a lot of projection going on.
That's not projection. This is man to man. And when men are speaking, please remain silent.
Yeah, right. Not me.
Well, I mean, part of it, to your point, Jeremy, is this. Here's the bottom line. If it's a debt, it shouldn't be anybody's fucking business what's done with it. Because just imagine if you had an ancestor who toiled and built something, right? And left you something because they through their work. And all of a sudden somebody said, nah, you can't have it. You might not know what to do with it. And I mean, the indigenous are the indigenous. For Black Americans, we have a history of success in terms of the things that we've done. So, and repair is in the word reparation. So it's not just random money. It's land access, it's tax credits, education guarantees. There are other things that go along. But the thing is, once we build our wealth, just don't drop bombs on us. You know what I'm saying? It's the case for segregation, actually. Because every time we've been segregated and we had thriving communities, then we were sought out for some reason. It's like, God damn, just leave us alone. I mean, when you look at, like, it's about every 20, so, there was heroin in the 60s and 80s, it was crack, now it's fentanyl. And before that, it was just straight up, just Tulsa, Wilmington, Rosewood. Central Park used to be a place called Seneca Village, and it was a Black neighborhood. So yeah, just don't build parks and freeways and shit through all of our stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the people who just won money for Bruce's Beach, where they had a whole beach set aside, and then the city of Santa Monica just took it, eminent domain. So I mean, I think if that type of stuff stops, I think we'll be cool. I don't think there's anything to worry about. And as a matter of fact, it would, for all the ones who think that we, all the trillions of dollars that we spend on frivolous shit, at least it'll boost the economy, if nothing else. If we're out there buying Jordans and shit and all that other stuff, hey, it's money being spent, right?
Oh, let me get messy.
You're already messy, Jeremy. And why do you keep talking like you're, what's the point of doing this messy thing? Just say what you want to say. Nobody cares how messy you are, Jeremy.
Well, it's like a verbal
I'm sorry. I'm going to take the green bean here and say we've been patient enough, and no account of amount of self-moderation or thought is meaning anything. So I'm just going to move the dude right on out the room.
She asked questions.
She kicked me. Sensol. That must be T18's antagonist, T18. Now I know why you're here, because you're getting kicked from rooms like that too, from these green bean censors. These fascist, communist, socialist sensols.
Matter of fact, you can go on my website now. You can find my book out there on Amazon.
You got an Amazon book?
I think I'm not scared, though.
Of course, y'all freaky.
For which domain you're in, though. Or maybe not always, but in certain cases, it's fundamental.
But you can't remember what domain you're in if you don't know ever to begin with what domain you're in.
Oh, yeah, you have to think about this shit.
But you can't if you can't distinguish between discovery and invention. If you don't know whether you've made it all up, you don't know whether you've discovered anything.
Oh, I don't know. Talking with you, you're magic, man. You can confuse things so quickly and still make it sound like you know what
There's a fine line.
No, it's true.
Wait, there's a fine line.
Let me go first.
No, there's a fine line between confusion and unexpected and undesired clarity. That's all.
Touche. That's a good one. You're better at this game than I am, Rodrigo. So I'm not.
The beauty of it is I'm not even playing again.
No. That's what it is. No, or whatever.
That's my story. I'm sticking.
That's that right. Yeah. And I don't think that's your only story.
It is, actually.
Yeah, right.
So Rodrigo, can you back up a little bit? So when you say that there is a way to discern or distinguish between discovery and invention, what is that? Like, how do we do that? By your account.
On my account, first
I just threw that in as a relativist nod to get people to listen, but like, how do you do that? How do we do that?
Right. Well, first you must distinguish between your beliefs and the reality that your beliefs
Welcome
are
to the
about.
Jewish News, everybody. Hit that like button and subscribe. This is an independent Jewish news broadcast brought to you by the Zionist brothers and sisters of the universe.
Perception is when your beliefs are caused by the reality.
This is our court philosopher, Rodrigo, trying to explain to everybody how words work.
On perception, like intuition or knowledge, or things of that nature.
Knowledge
and invention is
nature.
Action.
Inventions
of the same sort, like creativity or behavior. So
creativity.
But notice that you
behavior.
Distinguish between action and perception.
Action, perception,
distinguish the subject and the object.
Subject,
mind,
object,
and world, between self and reality. So it's just not an open. It's not a distinction that's available to someone for whom everything is just experiences.
What?
So if someone believes everything is experiences, then everything falls in the subjective side of the line. There's nothing on the other side.
That's right. Or at least nothing that one knows about or can say anything about or can talk about.
I see. Okay. That made sense to me, and you did go very fast. And I just want to check in with Heron. Did that make sense to you?
What?
Was it intelligible?
Let's see, is mine?
It went really fast.
No. Actually, I quit listening.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I was just on my way out to go get my vitamins, and I was going to be. But I went by. I saw that you were calling me. So
vitamins.
Anyway.
Vitamins.
I don't give a shit about all this philosophical crap. Again, like I say, you guys.
Good one, Heron. That was so Heron.
Are you serious?
Come on. Because there's no time.
This is like you being a tease with jokes. You're a joke tease.
Listen to me say what I was
tease. This is you being a joke tease.
We don't have time for this shit to seep down to the masses from the elite philosophers like it used to from Kant on down to the public or whatever.
To Rodrigo on Clown House.
To happen. The people, the unscrubbed, the unread masses out there who are running standard English in their brains are going to kill us all if they don't fucking wake up.
Okay, hold on.
Especially with the disclosure around the corner. We're really running out of time.
Well, let me go get my vitamins. Let me take another 30, well, maybe more than a minute anyway. I'll be back in a second. Gotta get my vitamins.
Okay. We can take an intermission.
Musical interlude?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to put on my favorite South Africans.
Yeah. What was that? Who was that? How do I find them?
I'll tell you later. We're going to focus before Mr. Vitamins gets back.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to also go on my own intermission. And listening. I'll be dancing.
Welcome to Jewish Comedy.
Okay, I'm back.
Too quick. Okay.
Yeah, more intermission.
That's okay. I can go find something to do. If
yeah, we were going to do a musical intermission.
How long?
3 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, gross. Okay, we are wilding out. Here we go.
Black women are here, man. I don't know if you got what they want.
No entiende, no hable español.
There's a real push, more so in my humble opinion. I'm not old, but there's a real push in this world to desensitize children, no matter what they brother like. You gotta mic up.
I learned that from my father. Again,
I stand corrected. My bad. The girl was a white girl that he murdered. Oh yeah.
Somebody told me about the great
Dude, hey, relax, man. We got a little bit of time.
Somebody up today.
Listen to me, man. All right, let's go with the conversation, man. I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, they say he was found guilty. They gave him life and not death. And because of that, a lynch mob came and hung his ass. There was this dude, not long ago, there was this black girl. She was in a hotel. She was a maid in a hotel in New York. And this white boy, I think he was from the French or somewhere. Yeah, I remember where he was accused of raping or something in New York. Do anybody remember that? It's been about maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago. He was the head of the IMF or some World Money Bank thing out of New York. The head of the IMF was accused of rape. Right. Listen, he was in New York in this hotel. She was a maid in New York.
I remember the story, but it's kind of blurry. I was real young then. He was a diplomat. They couldn't charge him because he was a diplomat, right?
No, what happened was his case went away. He resigned. I think the girl ended up getting some money. Damn, some shit. He was over the money bank, man. He was a big boy in the money arena, and he was in New York. And the girl, the maid, accused him of raping her or groping her or something in the room. And he was in New York to do a major speech.
I'm talking about Dan Katz.
I can't remember. No, he got a funny name. It's a white boy. I can't remember but this dude's name. But the premises was, I think he had something to do with the Jews tied up in that money thing. And his case just fucking went away. Never heard of him no more. Supposed to resign. Look at Rupert Murdoch. Shit. Rupert Murdoch is a prime example, another example of these dudes and their behavior. Rich, powerful, elite ones. And they're doing devilish acts and not the actors. Michelle, how do you get down there?
I don't know.
Oh man. Hey, you turn these replays off? Vince, are you still in the room too?
So
The resurrection, he has a coming back. Then he has another death, right? Because he has to die again. So he has two deaths. And then after his second death, then he has a second resurrection.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. All right.
Exactly. Because the idea would be that everything. Okay. On Judgment Day, we say kullun fiha.
Well, he said that Trump was a great person, and that's what started it off. Trump is not a great person. Trump is a piece of shit. A horrible human being.
Mary, cover your
Welcome to my Jewish news, comedy, and music podcast. Hit the like button and subscribe right now.
So, you know what it is? You know what it is, bro? Aisha's not ignoring me, she's just shy. This is how I'm trying to comfort myself.
Well, I think it's about that time, James. I said I wasn't going to run this road
If it wasn't good, I wouldn't be in the room.
Where you are, it's like breakfast time.
It's 7:28 in the morning.
You could be cooking at eggs.
No, I don't. I'm very careful of what I eat. So what I do is I have a slice of cheese on brown bread, no butter. That's my breakfast.
Wow, you're really laying on heavy right there.
You know what it is, dude? When you got a big mouth like mine, you have to keep in shape. You know, otherwise, an ass kicking is very painful. It is. It is. It is.
You need that protein. The cheese
Yeah, but like I told you before, Holland has got a very good bicycle infrastructure. So I don't own a car, and everything that I do on my bicycle. So per day, I'll probably ride between 40 and 50 kilometers every day. And I'm 60, so it should be more, but I can do it at the moment.
That's pretty good. You don't need a gym membership or anything.
No, I'm not a member of a gym. Never have done.
Yeah. If you're doing 60 kilometers a day, Jesus.
Like I was in the supermarket a few days ago. I think it was last week. There was this black man who was arguing with, I think there were two Moroccan or North African youngsters, maybe 15 or 16. And then they started beating him up. So, but I thought, I'm not going to let you get away. So I ran after them, and I actually caught them. When I looked at them, they looked terrified, so I just let them go. Because like the incident where it took place in the shop, they got cameras. And I'm not really in the business of talking to police and interviewing of what happened and what I saw. So, but it was a black man's fault. I mean, if you're 70-something, why would you choose to argue and punch somebody who's 16 or 17 years old?
Oh, that's an important detail.
Yeah, he was stupid to have done that.
Welcome to my Jewish news, comedy, and music podcast.
There's a lot of right-wing politics, so I think Holland's been at its most, now it's having one of its most critical moments. I mean, I never thought I would see Dutch white people saying Heil Hitler wasn't wrong. I never thought I would see that, but I did see it. That's what they were shouting during the anti-immigration protest. That was one of the darkest moments of my life when I saw that. I mean, what happened in the... You know what, Smoley? You are too stupid to talk to. You've got nothing to say. I will never be free. Gaza's going to be free. The question is, how many lives is Israel willing to take to stop that? But Gaza is going to be free, whether you like that or not.
I've never seen someone say Heil Israel before. Who says that? That has to be a troll.
That's why
they don't say Heil Israel, they say Shema Israel.
Speaking of troll, what's up, Congressman? Congressman, why are you doing the whole YouTube feed thing?
Ribono Shalom, I'm trying to be creative. You don't understand what it's... Trying to be creative here, and I'm playing music. I got a xylophone.
I know we're on your show right now, but I'm saying you're just trying to monetize your opinions, bro. I get you. You want the live stream hours. I know how it works. I know your gig.
It's impossible.
Your 15 phone setup.
You have to have 3,000 public watch hours, and even on my biggest accounts, I only get like 300. It's never going to happen. I don't understand these requirements.
Well, if
are
you keep doing
ridiculous.
what you're doing, I see the method.
There's a madness. I have a pattern, and
I see it.
everyone has a pattern. Like James here, he eats cheese on bread. Same thing with rats. They love cheese. I don't eat any butter. Ooh, wow, James. I mean, is that your social virtue signaling there? I don't eat butter. I don't eat butter. Free Palestine. I don't eat butter. I just eat cheese like a rat.
You know what comforts me, Congressman? You will never be elected.
Oh, I'll never be elected, huh? Oh, from your lips to God's ears, James. Wow, what a prophet. A cheese-eating, bread-eating prophet.
Since you're prostituting yourself on the corners of Clubhouse, you will never get elected. You're fucking even dumber than Trump.
Projection alert. Oh, James, I got another room open. It's called the Projection Show. That's our first. Let me put it in the notes, show notes here. First projection detected. James. 12:33 p.m. CST. First projection detected and recorded on November 26, 2025. Thanks, James, for being on the Projection Show.
I don't pretend to be something that I'm not. You are pretending to be someone who you are definitely not.
Oh, who are you, James? Who are you? Are you a philosopher now, James? Who are you?
I'm not a philosopher, but I'm like you. I don't tell lies.
Who are you, James?
Politics, James. I thought you follow American politics right now. Most of American politicians in office are actually got power. The same thing that this congressman is doing. They pretend. Santos. Exactly.
George Santos, he committed financial fraud.
I'm tired of listening to your voice. Sorry, bro.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
I feel sorry for you Americans.
I don't understand what the whole... You don't do as much anymore with my own voice thing. It's just... It's just gotta take...
He's an attention whore.
He's an attention whore.
You get a few more voters, you just turn it down a notch. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But I agree, Wayfan.
This is how the American politics works, really.
This is how American politics works, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it's working.
Like reality situation when they put bunch of people in some setup and then see who gets the most votes, and then like parties start supporting those people, and then. What happened is
that around to small districts, so you can just go find a small district and move into it.
No. What I'd say is something else. Is that what happens is that people like Santos or this congressman, all they have to do is be in the reality show that is going on to pick a candidate. As long as they are there in that show, then what happens is that maybe like some shit happens as they get elected. You know? It happened like RFK Jr.
From Wayfan's lips to God's ears, Ribono Shalom.
Santos didn't really do it. Santos did it.
No, I understand, but Santos isn't just like a mistake either. You know, I'm not saying he's a great candidate. I'm just saying there's a reason why people get elected, right? So you either align with super PACs, you align with, you know, causes that can win in your district, or you have, you know, name clout recognition. It's not a skip in a park in a big district to win, but
No, they pretend. So see, this is how it works. They pretend that they are somebody which they are not. And for the voters, there is no way to validate.
James's old man breath from Six and Cheese.
Because everybody has like AI and they can go look up, fact check all the stuff that they want, right? I mean,
No. So the problem is you haven't played the American politics. So the way that it works, like there are these small shows which only few people have access, because the people who are in these reality shows, they don't know they're actually being tested for a candidacy. So imagine they just create a show, they see who people vote for. These shows are very like exclusive. It's like Clubhouse. Like you have to be part of the club. So the information are not open to public. All it takes is for somebody like DeSantis just be in that show and go cheat. It's, I am that person in that show who can go and validate, because the shows are completely exclusive. It's very weird what's going on, because right now you can look at the cabinet of the United States. These people, most of them are really not qualified to be.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, there's a lot of people. That's a given.
Why this happens?
But what I'm saying is, bro, you're oversimplifying it, and I'm not sure. Are you American born? Are you aware of the whole way that all this stuff that I was studying? Right. I mean, a lot of the language you're using is, let me tell you how it goes. Like, I can tell you a little something too about how it goes. Look, like the people who are candidates in the United States, most of them, the people like, especially like DeSantis is not a dummy. You got a JD from Harvard Law, went to Yale, right? This isn't a stupid guy. These people usually do their military time. They go to the Ivy League schools. They come in, they're not dummies, right? But they ride the wave of, I mean, in his case, obviously he's a Tea Party guy, but they ride the wave of wherever the money is, right? And then they brand across what they think will work, which is some of your point. Like whatever they think.
Welcome to my Jewish News podcast, where we will be doing music and comedy. Roberto Channel Love. Hit the like button and subscribe right now.
Like that's
share the video
smart.
And hit the like button.
If you have a district that it can work, but they broke ridiculous records on the DeSantis thing by doing that. So that they just follow the money. They had billionaire donors. They're like, yo, he's Trump, but not as stupid. Right? I think he's equally stupid, but not the whirlwind around him. You know what I mean? So it's like it's Trump light. It's Trump who's like a more, you can dress him at the dinner table and whatever. So the conservative media love him because they think he's the next big thing. He isn't just some dude who was walking down the street. It was like, this is a freaking Ivy educated dude with a JD, bro. He isn't a dummy. The average person isn't going to be able to beat someone like that. DeSantis.
I'm not saying that he's a dummy. I don't think I could explain clearly.
It isn't just a reality show, though. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a little bit more than that,
The way that I understood it, I wasn't born in United States, but I lived there for long. That's why I said, let me tell you. But again, it's like, for example, an elephant. Each of us have touched some part of it. So. Yeah, when I said, let me tell you how it works, I'm like, let me explain for you what I understood. Necessarily is not true, it's not the whole picture, but at least it's part of the picture. And I think that's one of the reasons I come to the Clubhouse, to try to explain what I think is going on and also hear what you think is going on. And then we get a clear picture of what is going on. Because for sure, I don't think any of us really knows what's going on right now, especially in the American politics.
Yeah, I do live in Washington, D.C., so I'm in a pretty interesting place where I see politics around me all the time, and I'm originally from Boston. Like, those are two, political hotbeds, right? So I'm, around politics all the time. And I'm not saying in the throes or anything like that, but
but I might be able to provide some kind of...
What's your thesis, though? Like, you just saying, because I agree if you're saying you're a BS artist.
I think that there are these candidates which are found in a pool, and then these companies and political parties support them. They are chosen in some reality shows. So there are some local reality shows all around the United States, and then they keep an eye who they have tendency to vote for that person. You follow me up to now? So there are these, like, for example, a small town that you can run a reality show there, like to see who is who, and then and then find one person which like everybody likes in that town, and then you can say, okay, this person is worth an investment. We can support this person.
I get. That's what I thought you were saying. I mean, I get what you're saying. Some of that is true, but I think the reason I'm pushing back on that is like, if you're watching TV, right, and you see the DeSantis and the Obamas and the Trumps and the AOC and freaking even I was just talking about triple economic Reagan, right? These are like charismatic people, and they do sell, and a lot of those people do come from glitzy background, obviously, like Trump and Reagan, of course, right? But so I think it's tempting to think that there's some like shadowy kind of talent scout out there, like, hey, he looks good, he's got a good jawline and his sound bites are nice, so let's send him to the Nationals. But that's really not how it actually works here. Like the real political power doesn't start on stage for us; it starts like on in networks, because politicians here, you have to have money. So the donor, I mean, I know you know this from what you're saying, but you get these big donor networks and all the party. I was just listening to Donna Bazile on, she was on Mar the other night. She was talking about this too. People were throwing around some wild ideas. She's like, look, that's not the way that it actually happens. Like you have these party infrastructures, yeah, and you get consultants and the think tanks and that kind of stuff, but you got to go through this whole media ecosystem. That part's true, but when you keep saying reality shows, it's like, I think you're oversimplifying it. But the pipeline's more like, think of like in the NBA, they have like or like minor league baseball, right? It's more like than reality TV. They're scouting, but it's not for charm. It's for the ability to fundraise. That's what they care about. The real full-time job of those people, they got to get out there and fundraise, and they got to have the ideological, whatever you want to call it, reliability, right? They have to follow the party strategy, which is the thing that they have to come in and do. They're like, okay, this guy can follow the program. This guy has, unlike Trump, right, that they have media discipline. Right? Like Trump is an exception because he has his own media storm or whatever. But and then they're like, yeah, okay, if this person can rally up the base and they're gonna stay loyal to the donors, that's what they're looking for. It's boring and it's bureaucratic, but the eyebrow raises aren't gonna necessarily win you the primaries. It's the money and the machinery here that makes it happen. That's why it's status quo all the time, normally. Now you have a little bit of an uptick of people trying to emulate the next Trump, and that's what I was saying about DeSantis, because people are like, oh, we can do it again with him. So they do push him, but it's not like they're pulling him out of some, reality show that they just saw him on a whim, is my point. I mean, he's been groomed to be this person. And now that the way that you can even say that too with Vance. Vance is no dummy. Vance was never a Trump fan. Vance has switched, read the tea leaves, knew what he had to do to get in, and he's just riding the wave to try to get in there, but I just think it's a little bit more complex than that. It's like the reality shows are top down. You get all those producers and they're choosing the contestants, and the judges choose the winner, and the audience comes out and they vote. They go, never. Politics isn't that controlled though. Like even the billionaires and the party elites, they can get knocked over when they didn't want Trump, right? So there's, they didn't even expect Obama, and freaking Bernie is like a whole nother kind of, that's not in the program. You know what I'm saying? So if it was some kind of a talent show, then the producers would be, not doing a good job because they didn't see any of those things coming. And now we're in this real world where it's like, look at these, like, how did these people emerge? But they're normally trying to keep it consistent, trying to figure out this formula. And if you can follow the formula and you can raise money, that's normally who the candidate is. But I hear you that now we have some reality showish kind of stuff, but there's no like scouting on reality TV for the next candidate. I don't think that's a thing.
Maybe I confuse you by using the term reality show. Maybe a better term is that they are teaching this, like they are creating this pipeline of leaders.
Yes, so that's true.
Imagine that, for example, there is the city, and they are trying to create these leaders it's not a reality show that they are trying to make money like by selling to show for people to watch. It's more like it's a setup to create a pipeline for leaders. And then when they see somebody like has talent in that setup, they basically support that person, promote it, right? Right. The thing is that these are exclusive setups. The information which is happening, for example, when they are like trying to create these talents, to grow them, they're exclusive. There are like only few people have access to this information. Now, if somebody can like get access to those information that, for example, there is a talent being, nobody knows who that talent is, but they know there is a talent being promoted in some place. And what you can do is that you can go cheat other people claiming to be that talent. You follow me here? So, for example, DeSantos or this RFK Jr., because these two I closely can see what they did. They can, for example, you remember RFK Jr., that he was doing push-ups with jeans. These are kind of things which can be very much from that like talent he's doing in that exclusive setup. It's not a show. Let's not confuse it. There is an exclusive setup. They are trying to promote the talent to come to the leadership pipeline. That talent is doing, for example, push-up in a gym. Now, RFK Jr. have access to that information, can pretend that he is that talent. Or somebody like DeSantis can pretend that he is that talent. Other donors, which are like basically why they invest in, like, for example, American politics like this. You give your money to somebody, you're betting. If they get elected, you will get return on the money that you invested. If you can cheat them that you are that talent and you have potential to win, they will give you money. So a lot of people right now in American politics are doing that. They are like, for example, Trump. I don't think he's a con man. I think he's basically somebody which has access to information, to these talents, and he's just using it like perfectly, I would say. That is the claim I'm making. I'm not saying that it's a, I probably reality show was not a good word to use, but yeah.
I got you. Something again?
What's happening, man?
And
I have to push back on the he's not a con man. There are many indications. I'll just give you one example.
Yeah.
Trump coin. Trump coin was like the biggest fucking rug pull con job you could ever imagine.
How much did the son make off that?
Sorry?
How much did the son make off that? Didn't the son walk away?
Like $1 billion or something like that.
Several millions at least. Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah.
I think Trump is, in my opinion, he's the single biggest con man we've ever seen. The White House, without a doubt. I don't think it's even a close contest. So yeah, I agree with the pushback. I think it goes deeper than that, bro. Because if you study Trump, right? There was a program here, and it's called Zembla, and they were talking about his companies. And because, like Trump went bankrupt in the 1980s, and American banks refused to lend or borrow or loan money Trump because he doesn't pay his bills. And all of a sudden, he started, it's from Russia. So I think he was told, because don't forget, in 2012, Hillary Clinton and the State Department actively interfered in the elections of Russia. Putin won by the skin of his teeth. So when Hillary became the candidate, I think the Russians told him, either you pay back our money now or you run for office. And Trump ran for office thinking that he would never win. Remember his meetings with the Russians in the Trump Tower? Of course.
He's a Russian asset. It's as simple as that. He has no Western values. He doesn't believe in democracy. He doesn't believe in the transparency. I don't think he's a Russian asset. I think he's an asset.
Yes, I believe that.
He's an asset for anybody that'll give him money. And
Yes,
Trump Coin was really basically a fundraising campaign to raise money from foreign countries. That's all it was. And so it's like all the Bible sales and the $100,000 watches. It's all money. It's money raising. It's raising legally, but legally in a way.
Well, I mean, he got the okay from the Supreme Court saying that whilst he's in office, he's immune from prosecution. So he's unstable. That means I can just do anything. Like when one of the Ford twins, the living one, made fun of him. Remember when they put that on the jumbotron during the Super Bowl that Trump was against tariffs? What did Trump do? He increased Canadian tariffs, import tariffs, to 25% because of what Ford said. You know, a mayor in a city of Canada. That's just fucked up.
So again, I hear you when you say he's a Russian asset. Again, I go back to information because the key thing in American politics is to know who is who. I think he gets information from Russia. It doesn't mean that he's Russian asset.
Yeah, I don't think he's a Russian asset, but I think he's an asset to anybody that'll give him money. So Saudi Arabia,
not again money, information. He wants power. The information is the key thing in U.S. It's not money. There are like Elon Musk.
It's a stretch, though, but I mean, yeah, you can.
I mean, because essentially what you're like, to me, it's like you're not paying for the contraception. What you're doing is you're paying for a health. You're paying for a health insurance plan that covers contraception.
Right.
You know, which, you know, so the person can't use their health insurance to buy contraception. Yeah.
Listen, I really do have to roll, and I feel bad, but I have a health issue. My eye is a mess, and if I don't get enough sleep, I'm going to be in some hurt and pain in the morning. But I hope we connect again soon, because it's been a great conversation.
Definitely.
It really has. So let's look out for each other, okay?
Definitely.
Thanks. Take care, guy.
You too.
Get some rest.
You too. Thanks.
All right.
And I see, John, that you come in. I'm actually going to close the room. So, in 3, 2, 1.
Medusa Swan.
You know, so like festivals in concert. So whatever white person does, white people do. Oh, nobody cares. But wow. Oh, they have a privilege that.
You want to be white, go and be white.
That's what I'm saying. No,
We talking about black.
That's clean.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you know we got that too, and we got the 4-5.
The only reason we went into Afghanistan was for oil. I know it's not, people haven't talked about it much, but that was the bottom line. I spent many of weeks protecting congressmen and freaking, I don't even know, oil tycoons from I don't even know what countries they were, but they were looking to make a pipeline in Afghanistan to Pakistan. That was a thing that was being planned. It failed. I think China's trying it now. But now here we are, 10 years, 20 years later, we're going to Venezuela. God, the government says, it's about drugs. No, it's about oil, man. It's all about oil. We're trying to put a puppet government into Venezuela so we can move Exxon and all the big oil companies back in there so they can make billions of dollars. And bottom line behind the whole thing is Trump getting a huge kickback. So it's all about money, man. That's the way I see Venezuela. It's imminent. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's no way that we're not going to attack Venezuela, because I think we spent $100 million already in moving an entire aircraft carrier group, plus a couple of other carriers, not to mention the submarines and other shit. it's expensive, man. A C-130 costs $5,000 an hour to fly. What do you think an aircraft carrier costs to move from like Norfolk, Virginia to the Caribbean?
I mean, America's aircraft carriers, they're worth, just one single carrier is worth billions. Billions. 5,000 people, maybe 80 to 90 aircraft. It's a floating city.
Yeah, it costs $1 billion a day to an aircraft carrier.
Your fuel and your food consumption for the crew.
Chicago needs law and order.
Well, to pay each one of them too. Everyone gets a salary.
Yeah. And they get free food.
Well, it's not free.
I mean, they pay a pittance. I mean, I don't think sailors on aircraft carriers, right? I don't think they eat garbage. I think if you look at American soldiers, and I'll give them this, they look very physically fit and strong. Well, that tells me they work out a lot and they eat good.
You are well fed in the military. I won't lie on that.
Yes.
So let me ask you this: what happens if US go to Venezuela? Like, no, I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but if US engage in a war in Venezuela, then what happens after that? Does it give an excuse for US to get out of Europe and Middle East and say, like, I'm already in a war in the Caribbean?
I wouldn't call it a war.
Is it
remember Panama? Were you alive when Panama happened?
I don't know when it happened. Probably not.
Yeah. It was a long time ago. It's like a Panama part. It'll be a Panama part 2.
I kind of think it's an excuse to get out of Europe and Middle East. US doesn't want to be in Middle East. US really doesn't care about Europe. I mean, Obama said it. And what is in these areas for US? I think they just like Israel pulled US into Middle East, attacking Europe.
It goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that.
And I think if US military get engaged in Venezuela, they can say, "Oh, we are like running low on resources. We cannot."
They have to stay in Europe because the whole Russia is the threat, and they have to stay in the Middle East because they're protecting their black gold, and they might even expand into they might expand more stuff into Asia, into like East Asia because of the China stuff. That's going to come to fruition, probably in the next 2 to 3 years with the invasion of Taiwan and stuff. So,
but in Middle East, US already after the fracking technology, US doesn't depend on the black gold. I mean, it's not a strategy. Let's put it before it was a strategy.
It goes deeper than that way, because if you look at all the
it's actually good for US if the oil price.
No, it's not, and I'll tell you why. If you look at the Gulf countries. Look, if you look at fracking also causes in the plates. It causes earthquakes. It's not good. But first of all, the main reason why America is in the Middle East is because international oil is traded, bought, and sold in US dollars. And the reason why the Middle East dictators like UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, the reason why they trade their oil in US dollars is because they get American military protection. This is why they do it.
But it's not the strategy, James.
Imagine
strategic for US.
Imagine if the Middle East countries say, just for example, right? I'm just hypothetical. If they say, due to the fickle politics and economic policies in America, we are going to decide to abandon the US dollar and let's say adopt something that's a bit more stable, like the euro. Do you know how many hundreds of billions that will cost America? America will have to buy foreign exchange on the international money markets to buy oil. It would be disastrous for America. It would. Because even if you look at the price of petrol and gas in America and the prices that they pay, America is one of the most highly subsidized places, for fuel. Like, for instance, you know how much a gallon would cost me here? We use metric, so let's say it would cost about 10, 11 euro for a gallon. And how much does it cost in America? It's unnatural. America can't sustain that.
Well, we do sell the Middle East a lot of equipment, right? right? Yeah. Like we just did the F-35. You know, they're going to be dumbed down versions, but I never thought I'd see them giving a premier aircraft. Usually they start giving away stuff after a while.
Don't forget the second time this has happened, because when he was in office the first time, he tried to sell the F-35 to the United Arab Emirates, and it got vetoed. As soon as Joe Biden came into office, he stopped that. So I think Saudi Arabia getting F-35s, I think that's highly unlikely, because, first of all, I don't see the Republicans winning the midterms next year. I don't see that happening.
James, my point is that what is a strategic interest? Like, I can understand in a capitalism system, you can make a lot of money if, like, for example, oil is like traded in your like national currency. But the strategic, for example, before, if Middle East stop oil production, US would die because US really relied on that energy source. Right now, that's not the case. Like for example, before in First World War or Second World War, if Europe stopped production, US would die because US really relied on the import from Europe. Now that case is only with China. If China stopped production, US would die. So the only strategic interest that US has currently, that it really relies on, that is China. It's not Europe, it's not Middle East. Europe is not producing anything which like United States relies on. I can understand, yes, for a capitalism it's good to be there. You can make a lot of money. Why not? You can sell them weapons and stuff. But being like having American soldiers die for what? You cannot sell this to American people. Why should American soldiers die in Europe? Why should American soldiers die in Middle East? You cannot sell that to American people. The only way that you can sell that is that you die because to protect, for example, interests in Asia. Because you can say if, for example, if China attacked Taiwan, US will die. The AI will die because Taiwan is like the monopoly of silicon. This is a strategic interest. Then you can justify American soldiers can die to protect us, right? But you cannot, like right now, for example, if Iran attack Israel, how can you convince American people to send their kids there to die? The only way that U.S. Army can convince American people, because U.S. Army needs to go to these cities and recruit. How can you tell people come join us? You may die for what? For like I don't know. For Europeans don't feel
they lie. It's called It's called a lie. Like saying that the drug stuff in Venezuela is a problem. It's a lie. But a lot of Americans,
I don't think they
will not. A lot of Americans will not fact check that. They'll believe they're orange.
No, what I'm saying is that this Venezuela is just convinced U.S. allies that we don't give a fuck about you. So they are formally they want to get out. Like this Venezuela is that excuse that we are in a war in another place. We don't have resources to give you. That's basically what they are telling European and Israel. That's, I think, the reason that they are doing this Venezuela thing. Otherwise, what's the reason? Suddenly, out of nowhere, Maduro is terrorist. They just, and it's a good thing. Just get rid of this fucker. I mean, put another fucker.
No, I disagree with that. It's up to the look. At the end of the day, America has no business telling countries who can be their president. The rest of the world have to accept Trump. America won't win that war, because what will you win? There's nothing to gain.
What war, James?
It won't even be a war, brother. It'll be a massacre. It'll be a slaughter.
Venezuela? There's not
if they have to go to war.
There's not going to be a war in Venezuela. The people will be happy. The people will be happy, more than likely. It'll be like Panama. If you guys saw Panama and were around for Panama, it'll almost be identical. Maduro will get ousted. There'll be a puppet government put in, and we'll get corporations back in there to make money for the oil companies. Because you got to remember, Venezuela has the largest strategic reserve of oil in the entire planet right now. It does. It suits us, and we're not going to leave the Middle East because We're just not, and we're not leaving Europe because it's a geographic advantage for us, or a Warsaw Pact type scenario, which it's old now and antiquated. The whole America versus USSR, but it's still kind of there in a way.
It's always. I mean, the biggest American place outside America is Wiesbaden, right? In Germany.
To be totally honest, it costs more to leave Germany than to stay there.
Exactly, and Germany
stayed in Germany for 10 years, and
Germany just announced they're building the biggest army. It's happening. Everybody's seeing it. The US is getting out. Germany is just like last week announced they are gonna build the biggest army of the Europe. They are seeing it that they are on their own. I think it's happening, really.
I agree with that. I think that in some future, NATO, not a country, NATO will be a superpower. That's just something I think is going to happen. It was on the brink of death till Russia invaded Ukraine. It kind of got wind behind the sails.
Yes. And don't forget, Europe has its own nuclear deterrence. So I'm talking about countries like Britain and France. So they no longer were 25 years ago on America, because at the end of the day, what Europe and the rest of the world is seeing is that America's politics are very fickle. So if you sign an agreement, right, with one American president, right, and there's an election, and another American president comes, he'll renege it, just like how Trump reneged the Iran nuclear deal. This is the message that the world is getting. You can't trust the words of, how the fuck did we get to this? How did we get to this?
No, James, I think this is, again, you are underestimating American politicians. The American international interest, they just completely fucked Iran. They use, this is the whole thing. That's why US is such a superpower. Their international interest is not changing. It's completely not changing with politicians. Obama and Trump, they were completely, when it comes to Iran, they fucked Iran. Iran got rid of all its nuclear capability for nothing.
Agreed.
So this is how beautiful they played it.
I mean, to be honest, right? That agreement that Iran had.
It's a national thing. They just, what matters for the US is US international interests. And that doesn't change with politicians.
You know what the sad thing is, Weifan? Iran was complying to the nuclear agreement. They even agreed to CCTV remote cameras at their facilities. So what America is doing, and what America has always done since the Second World War, is fight wars on behalf of Israel. And that's not doing America any favors.
No, see, this is why this is Iranian. They are stupid. Right now, they are putting those people who signed this deal in jail, because what kind of negotiation, what kind of agreement? You have to understand when you are dealing with the United States, you have to understand US politics. Iranian didn't know that the next president can come and just turn it apart. They shouldn't have signed that deal. That is like, it goes back to, for example, Native Americans. I remember reading this story that, for example, this chief of tribes, when everybody in their tribes died, and then the chief is the last one, he was like, "You British are liar," and then he died. So what? Of course they are liar. This is the beauty of the politics of this nation. They lie, and they get away with it.
I mean,
this is politics.
Look, politics.
If Iranians signed it, this is very stupid. They shouldn't have signed it.
But you know what politics is? Politics is war by other means. That's what it is.
What do you mean?
People think, politicians, they listen to the people, and they don't. They don't care. Do you think, if America really cared about its people, how is it that the richest country in the history of the world, right, despite having a deficit, that tens of millions, probably more, never had health insurance? That Obamacare, the Affordable American Care Act, right? For tens of millions of Americans, that was the first time that they could actually afford, health care.
Also, going to capitalism, that's,
I don't like capitalism. Capitalism is welfare for the wealthy. Let me finish what I'm saying. If capitalism did work, and it's the panacea of all solutions, why have most capitalist companies in capitalist countries moved their production lines to fucking communist dictatorships in Asia, i.e. Cambodia, Vietnam, China, where people are not allowed to unionize? It's for the money, It's like I told you, it's welfare for the wealthy. It doesn't work. Because if capitalism did work, then America would not be 38 trillion in debt. Capitalism is spending money you don't have. And when you do that, you pass it on to future generations who had nothing to do with the cause of that. It's an evil system. It doesn't work. It's no better than communism. I think with the only positive thing I can think to say about it is it's lasting a bit longer than communism did. But I think it will fall as well eventually, because capitalism, what it does, it removes your manufacturing base to your country and they transfer it to countries where there's very, very low labor costs. People are not allowed to unionize. But you would think, because they're making it under cheaper circumstances, they would sell it to the American cheaper prices, but they don't. How has Apple become cheaper by moving its manufacturing base from America to China? Has it become cheaper for American consumers? Clearly not.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, in that sense, but we are talking about two different things. United States has been capitalist from the beginning up to now. Yeah, you can say, but you can see that U.S. is right now like the strongest superpower. It just like got rid of Britain, got rid of all the superpowers, just based on using the politics very wisely. And we are saying that president, like for example, you are saying U.S. supports Israel. US definitely, like if you go back and read, for example, the time that Israel attacked Suez Canal, US completely told France and England and Israel, get out. Otherwise, we are going to shoot you.
This is true, but now it's changed. Because
exactly. Because England and France, US got rid of England and France. France had Vietnam, got rid of that. England had Egypt and
but ask yourself this question, Weifan. So the last war that America won convincingly. No. Why? The last war that America won convincingly was the Second World War, right? They didn't win in Korea. They didn't win in Vietnam. They didn't win in Iraq. They didn't win in Syria. And they didn't win in Afghanistan. So, the American military, I mean, they're not as powerful as they think they are.
Yeah, it wasn't a unilateral win either. I don't think World War I or Second World War were unilateral wins.
Agreed.
You can go further back.
Yeah,
I'm of the belief that Russia had a huge part to play in the German demise.
Yes.
Probably a lot more than we get taught in school, But that's just my opinion.
I remember when I was younger, I live in Holland. So during the Cold War, we had national service. So I got stationed in West Germany at the time. And I was programmed to hate communists and communism without even knowing what it was.
Did you guys have reforger exercises, James? We used to have these huge reforgers go across the country. That was awesome.
Yes, but unlike America, like in Germany and America, the Americans were in the southern part of Germany. And where I was the northern part. So we fell under British command.
Oh, up near Hanover?
Yeah, near Hanover and Hamburg, yes.
Yeah. I was down near Stuttgart.
Yeah, that's where Stuttgart, Heidelberg, Mannheim, Wiesbaden, Yeah. I didn't like Germany much, though.
Oh, I loved it. It was a great place to go. It was a good hub to go travel. Like every weekend, we had 4-day weekends. I'd go to a country or something. Just get on a train and you'd be somewhere else in 3 hours. It was awesome.
You know how much I got paid when I was doing my national service? I got paid 250 guilders a month. And if you calculate that into euros, I got paid like 150 euros a month because I was a conscript.
Man, I lived in Germany. It was under the Deutschmark. And at the time, it was like 3 Deutschmarks to $1 or something like that. It was crazy.
You know what?
I could go with 50 Deutschmarks, take a taxi, eat dinner, go to a club, and come back and still have change.
Yep.
It was awesome.
And you remember, I don't know if you must remember it, the duty-free shops of the Americans and the British soldiers in Germany. They were fucking awesome.
Post-exchange, PX and DX.
Yes, buy a packet of cigarettes. Buy a packet of cigarettes. €1.20.
Car.
Everything, hi-fi, car, everything.
All the stereos were the most expensive stereos. Poor grunts money, so they'd all have the most expensive stereos in their barracks. It was hilarious.
You know what? Another thing was quite, amusing to me was the price of alcohol. They were very cheap in those stores. Those days, I could buy a liter of vodka or a liter of good brandy. I think those days I would pay something like 8 or 9 Deutschmarks at that time.
Class 6.
That's how cheap.
That's a class 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you go to Germany now, man, I just went to Germany this summer, and it was expensive. I had a snapshot the last time I was there I was there afterwards, but the last time I was there for any length of time was like 99, 97. Yeah. And then I came back in 2025, and it was like, holy shit, this shit's expensive now.
You know why that is?
Well, you know why that is? Once we converted to euro, there was countries that had to get floated, like Spain and
Greece, Italy.
I don't know exactly. That sounds about right, but they had to get floated, so everything became more expensive in Germany. Yes. And in Britain. That's why Brexit happened.
Yes. But you know what's the biggest cause of inflation and the increase of prices? Europe always got Russian gas for very cheap prices. But when they invaded, the European Union banned oil and gas imports from Russia. Like when you look at my country, Holland, it has a very big greenhouse industry, growing fruit, growing roses, in greenhouses using natural gas. They don't do that anymore because it's too expensive.
The biggest thing I saw was the amount of immigration. I was blown away by the amount of immigration in Germany. It was like, I had a snapshot from 99 and maybe like 2005, and then I had a snapshot from 2025, and I was completely, the picture that I had in my brain did not match what I was seeing. It was sad. No. Immigration is really a problem there.
It is. I mean, immigration is a problem here in Holland as well, in Britain. But the thing is, what I try to explain to people, immigrants are not a threat to me. Immigrants don't take away my freedoms. My biggest threat to my personal freedom, government, not immigrants. And
I agree to a point, but there was a decay that I saw in Germany because of immigration. I don't mean a decay like buildings weren't falling apart, but there was like a lot more trash on the ground. The trains were a lot dirtier because it was to be honest with you, I took train from Frankfurt south to where I was going to go, and it was like 40 non-nationals to every it was a crazy ratio, almost everybody, and they don't follow the same customs as Germans do, so it was very an uneasy time for me there.
James, this is a problem with immigration. You cannot say it's not the problem, because these immigrants which are coming, they are not normal immigrants. Like Gaddafi told them, if Libya goes down, Europe will go to hell.
It's a cultural thing, man.
Because it's not. The point is that when you have a lot of people with And again, like in every society, like in the United States,